Hi YouTube, this is Christian Brindle, Medicare health plan expert and specialist, and today we're going to talk about the Medicare supplement or Medigap known as Plan G, and is it really the best? It's certainly talked about a lot, but is it really the best plan for you to pick? Let's talk about it. First, to open up this conversation, we have to talk about what exactly is the Plan G. Well, when you get onto Medicare, you typically are placed on Medicare Parts A and Part B from the government. Both of them can best be explained as two pieces of a puzzle that fit together to give a person medical coverage. This is important because Medicare on its own does not cover things like prescription drugs, dental coverage, glasses coverage, hearing coverage, amongst some other things. They're really going to cover medical coverage and nothing more. And on the medical coverage they do provide, they don't even cover at 100%. They'll typically cover at 80% and leave 20% behind for you to purchase. So a Medigap plan is a plan that's designed by the government. They're what's known as standardized, to which the government determines how much of that 20% that Medicare leaves behind that the plan itself is going to pay. Then the plans are given to different insurance companies to market. So you'll see plans that are named after letters, such as a Medigap Plan G, a Plan N, a Plan F, etc., etc. A Plan G is a plan that pays everything that Medicare leaves behind, including the 20%, the hospitalization deductibles, copays, and things along that nature. The only thing that a Medigap Plan G does not pay for is a one-time-a-year deductible known as the Medicare Part B deductible, which is subject to change every year, but at this current moment in time, at the time of making this video, is $203 for 2021. That is the only thing that a person on a Medigap Plan G has to pay over the course of the year for medical bills in terms of their own out-of-pocket. Once that deductible is met, that person enjoys full medical coverage as long as it's a Medicare-approved charge for the remainder of that calendar year, and then it resets at the beginning of the next following year. So it sounds pretty good, right? Is the Medigap Plan G actually the best plan? Well, the answer to that is going to vary on two things in my personal opinion. Number one, what is your personal situation? What I mean by that is the plan that you typically find is most compared to the Plan G, and probably the second most popular Medicare supplement plan is a plan known as the Plan N. Well, Plan N has the exact same Medicare Part B deductible as the Plan G does, the $203 a year, but a Plan N also charges up to $20 doctor copay every time you see a doctor, and a $50 emergency room copay every time you go to the emergency room, plus the Plan N does not cover what's known as Medicare Part B excess charges. Typically, we don't see those charged very often, but if they ever were to be charged, the Medigap Plan N would not cover them, whereas with the G you would. So with the G you pay the deductible, that's it. With the N you pay the deductible plus a few copays per usage, and so a lot of it depends on how much you're actually going to the doctor and where your health is. The other thing that's important to mention with this is you might be healthy when you first turn 65, but 3 to 5 years down the road, your health could dramatically change. With a Medigap plan, for most situations, you typically can't change from one Medigap plan to another without being able to pass a health questionnaire to be able to do so. So if your health gets bad enough, you might not be able to change from a Plan N to a Plan G, and those doctor copays can add up rather quickly if you're seeing a lot of doctors. So that is a big part of this. It really does depend on the person's situation, but also where you might see yourself 5 to 10 years down the road. It's not a very easy thing to be able to predict since no one has a crystal ball. The other thing that really plays a big factor in this, and that's the second thing we want to look at, is the area that you live in. Medigap plans are standardized, which means they're offered in almost every single state exactly the same way. The same plans are available, exact same benefits with different insurance companies. There are a few exceptions to this, such as Wisconsin, Minnesota, which have different kind of plans than the rest of the country. However, in most states where the plans do work this way and they are standardized, you'll notice that the prices are going to vary in one state to the next. Even though these plans are standardized, the benefits can't change from one plan to another or one insurance company to another. However, they can vary in terms of the premium. So for example, one insurance company could charge $100 a month for a certain plan. Another insurance company could charge $200 a month for the exact same plan. This also takes into account how much the plans will actually raise their rates every single year as you get older, which each insurance company is going to be a little different in that avenue, in that aspect as well. In one area, the Medigap Plan G might be only $15 or $10 more a month in premium than the Medigap Plan N, whereas in another state, it might be $40, $50, $60, $70 difference in premium. So obviously, if the Plan N is $50, $60, $70 a month cheaper than the Plan G, that is a lot more attractive. You have to go to the doctor a significant amount of times every month to make up that difference with the $20 doctor copay. However, if you're looking at a $15 to $20 price difference in a certain state, well, that might not necessarily be worth that savings, because one doctor visit would probably be enough to make up the difference in what you're saving. So a lot of it depends on the price difference in certain areas. The other thing to keep in mind is in 2020, January 1st, 2020, there was a bill that was passed by the federal government called the MACRA bill. Now what the MACRA bill is it's a bill that essentially caused Plan G to start taking place and start participating in a program called Guaranteed Issue. What this means is if someone's canceled on work insurance or if they're canceled on a Medicare Advantage plan pulling out of a market, they're able to get certain Medigaps with no health questions and no underwriting due to this Guaranteed Issue policy. That's great for those people, but what about for the people that are already on the plans? Well, they're typically seeing that with plans that are Guaranteed Issue eligible, they typically see a lot more unhealthy people come into the plans each year that might have severe health problems such as cancer, dialysis, whatever the case might be. This causes the claims to go up in that particular plan, and it can cause a spike in price increases on a Plan G, whereas a Plan N still does not participate in Guaranteed Issue. However, I have found, and the data backs this up, that with a lot of insurance companies that have very large market share, typically you'll find that they're able to withstand this a little bit more than others. I've even looked at Plan Fs, which Plan F has been doing Guaranteed Issue for as long as I've been doing this, that typically I've seen certain companies only go up 3 to 5% a year on average for the last 10 years on a Plan F, even though the Plan F has been participating in Guaranteed Issue for a very, very long time. So it's not to say that a Plan G will always have these huge rate increases. A lot of it does also depend on the insurance company you're choosing to work with. However, if I had to bet my money on which plan will go up more over a 10-year span over the next 10 years, whether it be a Plan G or Plan N, I would say a Plan N will have lower price increases. However, picking a good insurance company does help remedy that a little bit. Anyway, folks, I hope you found this helpful on a really good breakdown on the Plan G versus the Plan N, which one's really the best plan. I think it really does depend on where you live, your situation, and what you're looking for and what your preferences are. I find it very difficult to actually put out there that one plan is always going to be better for another. I personally still prefer the G slightly over the N, although it's very, very close, mainly because I like the predictability of the Plan G. You have the deductible, that's all you pay. No matter what happens to you, you never have any extra variables being entered into the equation, like if you have to go to a doctor multiple times, or let's say you're seeing a doctor a week or whatever the case might be, those copays can add up. I like the stability of that Plan G in terms of the coverage. However, it's not a perfect plan, and it's good for you to know the pros and cons. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do us a favor, drop a like on it so more people like you can find it easier. Make sure to comment on what kind of videos you'd like to see going forward. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. And thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Have a great day.